I think everybody was a little bit frustrated because it's just frustrating when the defense was frustrated that they couldn't make the play to get off the field. The offense was frustrated because they couldn't get into a rhythm. But, we saw some better flashes there in the second half.
I saw some criticism of Coach Frost for calling those timeouts late in the half. I didn't think anything of it. He was trying to save 30 to 40 seconds just to get the ball back and have one more crack at it. North Dakota had timeouts as well, so if Coach Frost didn't call them, they were going to call them. But I think people felt like that helped them. He was trying to get one more possession that half. The defense just couldn't get off the field on that drive. Yeah, couldn't get a stop.
They couldn't, and I think that's kind of where the frustration came because they really were trying to get the ball back because they felt like they had something that they could call and maybe have some success with. I think at the end, that's what it seemed like on the sideline, is that they had some things that they were talking about. There was, a lot of the coaches were talking amongst themselves. They were talking to Coach Raiola. It seemed like they had a good plan, something that they wanted to attack the next time they got the ball, and then they just couldn't get the ball back. So I understand. I didn't think anything of it. I thought, okay, they know what they want to do when they get the ball back. That's why they're calling these timeouts.
Yeah, and you go look at the first drive of the second half. It was lickety-split down the field. Huskers got that ball to start the third quarter and just went right down the field, 6 plays, 75 yards. Didn't even take 2 minutes off the clock and scored on the pass to Nate Borkacher. What a good day for the backup tight ends, because with Travis out, you needed somebody to step up. Borkacher had the touchdown catch. Chancellor Brewington, and we're going to hear some clips coming up here from the head coach who just raves about what Chancellor has meant to this program in 2 years. But I was really happy for those two guys to step up and fill some literally big shoes. Travis Vogel's a big guy, but to be able to do that, get some catches, keep that tight end involved in the offense, which I think for Mark Whipple, it's a big part of the offense is throwing the ball to the tight ends.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And I had said that going into last week's game, going at the end of the week, that I thought it was going to be good for them to try to get some depth, get some confidence at a few of those guys outside of Travis Vogelek, because, boy, the offense really sputtered once he went out against Northwestern. And so you got to be able, if that happens again, or if anybody anywhere, same thing with the inside linebacker. If Luke or Nick go out, you got to be able to have somebody that you can call upon, that you feel comfortable in that situation. So I think giving those tight ends a lot of reps, a lot of opportunities to get confident, get some game reps in that offense. And Chancellor Brewington was getting a lot of praise on the sideline for what he was doing and blocking and opening some things up.
So it was a Husker win. It wasn't as comfortable as any of us would have liked. What I do think is we've now, through 2 games, seen that this offense has multiple weapons. You had a terrific Cornhusker conversation with Isaiah Garcia Castaneda. He didn't get targeted for a pass on Saturday. Trey Palmer continues to be the guy that I think that Casey really locks into. Mentioned the tight ends. Marcus Washington only had 4 throws his way, but yet this offense puts 38 points on the board because, as you said, the offense really came from the ground game this week. And I like the fact that Casey tucked it and ran a couple of times. Thought he maybe should have done that a few times against Northwestern, pull the ball down and take off and get what you can instead of trying to force a throw into different areas. Defensively, it was a weird game from the standpoint that you felt like they couldn't quite get the clamps put on North Dakota. But then you look at the final stats. North Dakota ended up with just over 300 yards of offense, 306. And those last 3 plays got them over 300. You keep a team under 300 yards, you've done a pretty good job. And outside the long 63-yard run, I thought the defense did some better things. They got to keep getting better than they were. But again, they're down a guy with Nick Henrich out, and don't know how long he's going to be out. And Ernest Hausman, who's going to be a terrific player, and Coach Frost talked about him today. He obviously probably made some first-game mistakes in his first start out there for the Big Red, but again, you hold an opponent to around 300 yards of offense, you've done a pretty good job. And the offense hurt the defense with the turnover that Casey threw that gave them the ball at the 8-yard line. That led to 7 of their points in the game. So some good, some bad, but you'd certainly like to come off of a win and go back and look at your mistakes as opposed to what happened the week before against Northwestern.
You mentioned that you're talking about the passing and Isaiah Garcia Castaneda and some of those guys. If I just pulled it up. So Northwestern, they attempted 42 passes, completed 25. On Saturday, attempted 21 and completed 14. So They saw the ground was working, but then also they just didn't have the opportunity to get it really going as much either.
And again, if you can run the football, you're much more likely to just do that and grind it out. And I think that's what Nebraska really decided in the second half. Yeah, we'll keep throwing, but we want to get Anthony Grant. And why not? Anthony Grant, man, I love watching him run the football.
And talk about going to be like, if teams are preparing, what the heck? What the heck do we prepare for? do we
prepare for their running game or their passing game? That's what being multiple is. I think that's a good thing for this team moving forward. All right, we're going to talk about that. What a great weekend for college football. Just amazing games all over the place. Last night's game was wacky in the Superdome with the block PAT in the last play of the game. Thought that game was headed to overtime in the Swamp Saturday night. What a great finish with Utah and Florida. Two, I think, pretty good football teams there. And then you had a really good game at the Horseshoe. Notre Dame really put up a heck of a fight against Ohio State. So just a great opening weekend for college football. There is a game starting here in about 45 minutes. Clemson and Georgia Tech will wrap up the weekend for college football. Here's what we have on the program tonight. Scott Frost did have his weekly press conference today. We'll play you some of the clips from that. We're going to hear from Anthony Grant in hour number 2. Jessica talked to him, the game star, and now the co-offensive player of the week in the Big Ten Conference. We'll do that in the second hour. Matt Davison will be here with our Mondays with Matt segment, and we'll have our weekend winners for you as well. And we want you to be a part of the program. 402-413-2400. That's the number to dial us up with a comment or question. In fact, let's start with Jim out of North Platte. Good evening, Jim. Welcome to the program.
Well, I want to thank you for taking my call. I am 71 years old. I have been down there to watch some super football, 70s and 80s and 90s. I got 2 questions, and I've got a basically comment. A first question is, I think changing coaches every 3 or 4 years is a big mistake. I think you need to give Scott Frost a couple more years. And my basically second question is that I think since Nebraska has not been to a bowl game 6-7 years, I don't think we're getting the quality recruits very well. And I would just like to say I'm a real good friend of Scott Frost. Go Big Red. Go Big Red. Thank you.
All right, Jim. Appreciate the phone call. Thanks for the call. I think recruiting's gone really well. I think, they feel really good with where things were coming out of the summer. So I think they feel like they are trucking right along in that category. Yeah, you always need good players. I think we do have some good football players, and they're trying to all bond together, mix some of the new players with the old players. This offensive staff still trying to find their footing moving forward. So I think that's all kind of a work in progress. So appreciate the call, Jim. Jim called us up on our Sports Nightly hotline, brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime. With 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned, you can always find what you are looking for with Woodhouse. Again, 402-413-2400. Need to slip a break in. We're back with more of the show coming up.
I'm University of Nebraska-Lincoln student Hannah Pham with Campus News. Students from Nebraska's Johnny Carson Center for Emerging Media Arts helped create visual effects for the Star Wars TV series Obi-Wan Kenobi. This opportunity came from a 3-month internship with Lola VFX, a visual effects firm in Los Angeles. This internship transitioned to employment, with Huskers also creating effects for the superhero movie Thor: Love and Thunder.
Back to throw is Schuster, looking down the middle field, hit, and ball pops out. It's loose, and a pile up, and the Huskers, I think, have it. Stephon Wynn, I think, has it.
Hey, Huskers fans, tomorrow, join us for Sports Nightly from 6 to 8 p.m. In Hour 1, we'll break down the latest Nebraska football practice report. Then in Hour 2, we'll talk to Huskers volleyball defensive specialist Kenzie Knuckles before we catch up with the Team Jack Foundation. Tune into your local affiliate or at Huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red.
The Mazda lineup of SUVs will provide safety, performance, and capability on your journey ahead. From the 3-row Mazda CX-9 to the first-ever Mazda CX-50, our sales team is ready to guide you to the SUV for your lifestyle. Shop the Omaha Metro's exclusive Mazda dealers at Woodhouse Mazda in Bellevue or Woodhouse Place Mazda. Visit us online for your next Mazda SUV at woodhousemazda.com.
Farmers can make what seems impossible reality with a little hard work and ingenuity. They find solutions to reduce inputs and improve their yield. Valley Irrigation is no different. As the leader in irrigation technology, we deliver results and optimize your operation. Because when you have a vision for the future, you need the people that can make it possible by your side. Expect what's next. Expect what's possible from Valley. Visit us at valleyirrigation.com.
Huskers, do you want a fulfilling career that's financially rewarding? Explore the many ways you can be a part of the insurance community. Go to iian.org/careers today. Business insurance is a lot to manage. Did you know a trusted choice independent insurance agent can help guide you through it at no extra cost to you? They'll do your insurance. You just do you. Find out more at trustedchoice.com.
Triple B Feed has the products to help your cows thrive. Whether it's weekly delivery of consumption-controlled Lumix liquid minerals with protein or Redmond natural mineral salt for livestock or humans, Triple B has you covered. Let Brian and Brad Blahorn take some of the stress out of your beef production this year. For more information and other products, visit triplebfeed.com. Triple B Feed, helping you and your cattle.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Seasons change, but your land stays the same. You need the right solutions to keep you moving. That's why you rely on Acres Equipment, your premier John Deere dealership and proud partner of Nebraska Athletics. Whether you're harvesting, protecting your crops, feeding the herd, maintaining your lawn, improving your business, or letting off some steam, Acres has what you need to get the job done. Acres Equipment, solutions for every field.
Preparation. It's the key to success on game day. And like your favorite Huskers on the field, you need to be ready right from the opening kickoff. Cenex has your pre-game routine covered. We've got your salty snacks, your sweet treats, ice-cold beverages to wash them down, and fresh tanks of propane to fire up the grill. Fuel your fandom at your local Cenex station. Husker Pride, powered locally.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
You already got the hat, the jersey, maybe even the occasional red and white face paint. So kick things off right this season and add the FNBO Husker Visa debit card to the list. Pay loud and proud for every Husker decal, t-shirt, or hot dog at the game. Wear your heart on your sleeve and in your wallet with the Husker Visa debit card, free with any checking account from FNBO, the bank of Husker Nation. Get yours today at fnbo.com/Huskers. Member FDIC.
At CHI Health Clinic, we believe healthcare should be personal because knowing your provider personally makes appointments more comfortable, more productive, and more meaningful to your overall health. Get matched with a primary care provider based on your personality and lifestyle using CHI Health Clinic's My Provider Match. Take the survey at myprovidermatch.com to find the right provider for you. Getting healthier starts by getting personal at CHI Health Clinic.
Farmers Mutual of Nebraska is proud to support Husker athletics. Having a confident teammate beside you makes all the difference when it comes to protecting what matters most. With a proven track record of dependable coverage, unmatched financial strength, and a prompt claim service team right here in Nebraska, that's insurance kept local. Visit FMNE.com to contact an agent for a quote today. Farmers Mutual of Nebraska, always alongside you.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres Solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you here on a Monday night. Happy Labor Day, everybody. Hope you had a chance to enjoy yourself. Spend some time with some family members today. We're in here covering Husker football for you tonight, so we're looking forward to talking about that for the next couple of hours. 402-413-2400, the number if you want to dial us up with a comment or question or fire off a text. Mike in Grand Island said the timeouts before halftime weren't about getting the ball back with 40 seconds. They were about trying to make sure you had the right defense to stop a TD that didn't pan out. Mike, I respectfully disagree. I think they called the timeouts because they did want the football back. They called the first timeout with 54 seconds left after North Dakota ran up the middle for no yards. So you have 2nd and 10. Then the second timeout came after second down when they ran for 2 yards. You got 3rd and 8. And at that point, there was 46 seconds left. I absolutely believe Scott Frost wanted that football back with 30 to 35 seconds left to try to get some points before halftime.
Yeah, I think they did. And it wasn't like North Dakota was moving so fastly that the defense couldn't get set. They knew what they needed to do. They just sometimes didn't get it done. And so I don't think they were confused at all about what they needed to line up in or what they needed to do to get a stop. I got the feeling over there on the sideline that they absolutely wanted that ball back.
Yeah, and so he's trying to get 30 seconds because we saw last week in the game in Ireland that Nebraska right before halftime got it with a chance for that 56-yard field goal before halftime. And you're right, Mike, it didn't pan out because they ended up scoring, but they converted the 4th down. So we called the 3rd timeout after the 3rd down. They had 4th and 2, which they converted with that little pass down near the line, and then they ended up punching one in there right before halftime. So it was designed to try to save yourself a little bit of time to get one more possession before halftime. Let's go to the phones. Tim in Minnesota joined us next. Good evening, Tim.
Good evening. I called into Big Red Reaction and made the comment that, this game kind of reminded me of the Rutgers game. Kind of rugged, but we actually were able to pull away and lean on them and, kind of gave you a good feeling, especially so that's kind of, but what I was not able to share on Saturday night was, I can kind of relate a little bit to Nebraska. There is, with the current job that I have, there have been some doubts, and it was definitely up and down about whether I'd be able to keep the current job that I have. I've been on a 90-day probationary period. But it also reminds me of that feature that you narrated on Big Ten Network, the 97 Elite. And I remember what I think Jason Peters was talking about with Scott Frost. Keep coming back, even when it's adverse. When there's a lot of adversity, I can kind of relate to that with my job, and so I still have the job, not necessarily out of the woods, but I've definitely come a long way. And I also see that for Nebraska. I think that was a kind of a feel-good win. Just they're able to pull away and convincingly, even though most of the game was close. And so that's, I guess that's my main stuff for today.
All right, Tim, appreciate it. Thanks. No, I think there was a good feeling. You could hear the guys hooting and hollering in the locker room after the game. That team just needed a win. And I think you're right that the fact that they were able to kind of put it away late, lean on North Dakota, move the football to the ground, I think was really beneficial for Nebraska in that fourth quarter. I think they'll have a good week of practice now getting ready for Georgia Southern.
Yeah, and there's a lot of guys sick, not making excuses, but hey, you
Casey
get
said it today too.
Yeah, it's a work in progress. It doesn't always have to be pretty. Just get yourself in that win column and keep working out those kinks.
Time now for a GoCurrency.com Husker football practice report. The head coach did have his weekly press conference earlier today and started off with an opening statement, just kind of recapping the game on Saturday and looking forward to the next week.
We had a good Monday as far as the install goes and getting the first step of preparation ready for the game. Looking back on the game, I thought there was a lot of good things we could take from it. Usually when you watch tape, nothing's as good as you think or as bad as you think. We did some good things in the first half. Did some bad things in the second half. Obviously, the second half really started to click for us. It's been a process to get everybody working together and on the same page and new pieces and knowing the little details and things that it takes to make plays work and make plays on defense. That's what we're going to continue to work on. And I think the kids are in a good spot, understanding and feeling confident in where they can go, but knowing we still have a lot of things we can fix.
So there was kind of his pre-press conference summation of what took place over the weekend. First question out of the gate was, how do you feel like your offensive line has performed through the first 2 weeks?
I don't really want to single out the O-line because to me it's the run game in general. And I will say this, the running backs played well. Everybody that got in played well. Running backs make O-lines look better, and O-lines make running backs look better. And sometimes receivers and quarterbacks are part of that too. The first half we gave up 2 sacks, and that was all we gave up. But that 2 is too many. I thought one of the promising things to see was to see us control the ball when we needed to at the end of the game and just be able to run it. But that's a team effort, not one person or one unit.
Yeah, and that's a theme I feel like I get on the sideline too, and the wide receivers too. Whenever they come off the field and something good has happened, a lot of times, like Marcus Washington had a couple of good blocks. Omar Manning had a couple of good blocks too. The drive that, I think it was the one that Anthony Grant scored, maybe his second touchdown. Did Omar have the big pass on that?
Did.
But then he also had a couple big blocks on that drive, and so everyone was coming over, and it was cool to see the interaction between Anthony Grant and Omar Manning, how they fed off of each other in that, because I think the wide receivers have said it, the running backs have said it, they got to have both for this offense to be successful.
Jessica, we've seen 4 halves of football, and all 4 first drives have been really electrifying for the Huskers. Both halves at Northwestern, both halves on Saturday. Here's the coach talking about getting off to fast starts in games.
One of the positives, and I don't want to jinx it, but our first drive out of both first halves have been touchdowns. Our first drive and second halves have been touchdowns. So when we have a plan and go in, and we've been executing it pretty well. I think familiarity with scheme and adjustments and everything as kids get more familiar in the scheme, hopefully some of those drives can take place after first drives with a little more frequency. I didn't realize after the game we'd only had 4 possessions on offense in the first half. They did a good job of picking up a couple first downs and keeping the ball away from us. The punt block by Javen Wright was certainly a big play for us, and it was good to see us make an impact play on special teams. Other than the one drive, I thought the defense held up really well in the first half. So. But you got to play complete games. The offense has to play well, defense has to play well, and special teams has to play well. And we'll definitely need to play more complete games to get wins down the road.
I think this team understands that they have to play better complementary football and, not get – and I had a report on this at the beginning where Mickey Joseph was saying, hey, we got to just go do our job. We can't worry about anything else outside of what – our job is. And it's funny that he said he didn't know that the offense only had the ball 4 times. I felt it, and I think the guys on offense felt it, because I think they were hey, we got to get the ball. It was just, and they didn't do what they were supposed to do when they had it a couple of those times, but I think they felt like that was why they couldn't get into a rhythm, because it just, North Dakota was out there for so long. And then the point about Javen Wright, boy, that was a neat moment, and it was really cool to see him.
Nickname.
Yeah,
Buddha.
It was really cool to see him come over and all of his teammates running over to him. That was a really special moment. That's probably my favorite moment of the day.
That was great. All that he has been through with blood clots, and maybe thought he wasn't ever going to play football again. For him to make that play was fantastic. Well, that clip right there from the coach confirms something, that he's not listening to our broadcast, because we were pointing it out about only 23 plays or whatever. Yes. We were making a pretty big deal of it on our broadcast. Why is he not listening to us? He could learn a lot listening to us.
Maybe you should slip him the Inside the Stadium channel.
Yeah, give him that channel. Fun on that. All right, he got asked, the press conference kind of went a couple different directions, and it came back to the running backs and what he's seeing from them, and why are they able to do, both of them that played a lot on Saturday, and Anthony Grant and A.J. Allen, why are they having so much success? Here was his comment.
I thought the vision of the running backs in general, everybody that got a chance, was really good. They saw some cracks and hit some seams to get extra yards that were hard to see. Thought Anthony's patience was really good on a couple of the runs, not just running blindly up in there, but waiting for blocks to develop. And with a lot of these guys, if we can get them on the second level, we have a chance to make big plays now. And it's kind of up to the O-line and the coaching staff to get us in the right place and the right schemes to make sure that some of these backs can get in space.
I think that's exactly right. I think Matt even made the comment about how much patience Anthony was showing on some of those. Even a big, long 46-yard run, he waited and then saw the hole to the left, and off he went.
Was he not as patient? Did you guys not think against Northwestern?
Oh, I thought he was too there. I think that's just part of his skill set. Be able to make that jump cut, stop, put that foot in the dirt, and go. Not dirt here, but in North Ireland it was a grass field. But put that foot in and kick somewhere else. He does really well. And I think A.J. Allen has some of that too.
Yes. I mean, and I've talked about it. A.J. Allen, Jeremiah saw something special in him. I mean, it's the vision, absolutely. And we kept hearing it, and it was nice to see it actually really come to fruition for Anthony that, hey, he's got some really special skills, and we saw all of it on Saturday.
We talked earlier in the opening segment about the tight ends and how glad I was able to see Borkature and Brewington do some good things with the absence of Vokalek, because the Husker and Mark Whipple wants those tight ends to be a big part of the offense. Scott Frost was asked about the play of the tight ends from Saturday.
They gave Bork a lot of crap for being nervous and dropping the first ball, but he settled in and played really well. Chancellor Brewington's a special kid. He is tough, can do about anything we ask him. He played really well too. AJ got quite a few snaps, and that was good to get him his first experience. We're looking forward to having Travis back real soon.
Yeah, I wish I did not get pointed out on the broadcast that A.J. Rollins was getting some snaps. That was great for that redshirt freshman to get some playing time in the game. He was asked again about Chancellor Brewington and what he's meant in just the year plus that he's been a part of the program, and here's the coach.
I can make a highlight tape already of him making some impactful and impressive blocks. He's a selfless kid. He does anything we ask him. He's one of the toughest guys on the team, and I have a ton of respect and admiration for him.
You talked to him after the game, didn't you?
Yes, I did. He was a little bit, I mean, he was appreciative of the touchdown pass, but he's like, I'll do whatever the team needs me to do. He was surprised that he got that call, but you could just tell how appreciative the whole team was of him and the role that he played. But even still, you know, I think he's one of the leaders on this team. Travis Vokalek had talked about how the tight ends have a lot of experience in that room with a lot of guys that have played a lot of football. And so I think he was still, you know, despite him getting a lot of praise, I think he was a little bit disappointed in how the offense played. And so it wasn't like he was celebrating himself or his day, because he wants the offense as a whole to be better from start to finish.
All right. One concern, I think we all can agree on this, is that the run defense needs to get better. Northwestern cut up the Huskers in week 1. North Dakota goes for 175, including that 63-yard dash by Isaiah Smith. The coach was asked about his thoughts about Nebraska's run defense.
Consistency, Sam. You know, when you watch the game, even me being on the headset with those guys, we'll knock a run out for 1 and then 1 for -2. We've had too many that have creased, and that's just detail. We're going to do a little more ones versus ones this week. In some ways, I feel as a head coach watching, like the defense needs to see those plays being run at the speed that the one offense can give them. And even though we don't get perfect looks on either side, trying to give each other a look, I think it's important to continue to do those things. So we'll do a little more of that. We weren't able to do much of that last week, coming off a trip overseas.
It's probably the biggest news of the press conference. They're going to do some more ones-on-ones this week in practice.
Yeah, and I think just, again, at the inside linebacker, figuring out if one of those two guys go down, because you feel good about Luke and Nick and the experience that they have, but you know, they had rotated some guys in that spot, so getting someone that you feel comfortable that in that moment and just getting that game experience as well, I think is also going to help lock up that inside as well.
Only 4 TFLs. You want more than that. There were a lot of plays in the game for North Dakota and only 4 tackles for losses. That needs to get better for Eric Chenander's defense. All right, we'll leave you with this. Huskers, one clip about Georgia Southern, coached by Clay Helton, who a year ago at this time was USC's head coach, got fired early in the season, has since been replaced by Lincoln Riley, but now he lands as the head coach at Georgia Southern. Here's Scott Frost talking about Clay Helton, and did their paths cross at all when they were both coaching in the Pac-12?
A little bit. Got a ton of respect for him for everything he accomplished there as a coordinator and head coach. And I'm sure coming into a new place that had run a different scheme on offense, there was a lot of challenges there. Judging on the way they played first week, they've done a really good job.
So we'll have a lot more on Georgia Southern as we make our way through the week. But again, that's our practice report presented by Currency. Does your business need quick, easy, and secure financing for equipment, trucks, or trailers? All you need is Currency. Visit gocurrency.com for details. All right, phone lines, text lines back open for you, 402-413-2400. We're back with more of the show coming up.
It's time to amp up the fun now during the Ford Summer Supercharged Sales Event. Just move on up. Get great offers on select Ford vehicles, and you'll not only bring back the fun, you'll supercharge it. So stop by the Summer Supercharged Sales Event at your Ford dealer and discover how Ford can take your summer to a whole new level. Not all models, trims, or features may be available. Contact your dealer for information.
Just move on up. The name of our new promotion says it all. Powerball First Millionaire of the Year. Through September 12th, buy a Powerball with Power Play ticket at any Nebraska Lottery retailer and enter the voucher number to win a trip to New York City for New Year's Eve on December 31st, 2022. Plus, you'll also get a chance to win $1 million and become the Powerball First Millionaire of 2023. Remember, this promotion ends on September 12th, so plan ahead and play today. Powerball top prize odds 1 in 292 million.
This year, we considered hiring an ad agency to help with our marketing.
They pitched impressive visuals and a script that was inspiring.
And exotic animal mascots to help grab your attention.
In the end, we just decided to tell it to you straight. Shelter Insurance has award-winning customer service at affordable rates.
Plus, our local agents are there to help you understand what coverage you need.
See Shelter Agents Pete Voles or Brent Ruggo in North Platte, or in Broken Bow, see Agent Brent Custer.
The name on the mailbox may say Smith, Myers, Baumgartner, or Johnson, but when you choose to plant with Rob Seco, it includes your name too, making you a stockholder in a company that's invested in you. With the simplicity that makes us easy to do business with, relationships that bring more to the table, the technology, traits, and genetics that take on local conditions, and people with the know-how to use it. At Rob Seco, the only stockholder we listen to is you.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Whether you compete on the court, at the track, on the field, or in the fields, winning isn't just a goal. It's a mindset, shaped, honed, and defined throughout the season. That's why farmers pushing themselves to be the best plant DeKalb brand corn. Wherever you compete, winning has roots. Perform at your best with DeKalb. Always read and follow grain marketing and all other stewardship practices and pesticide label directions.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
At Sid Dillon Chevrolet, we help you find vehicles designed with purpose and function, prioritizing safety, technology, and the dependability you need. Visit our Chevy locations in Blair, Crete, Fremont, or Wahoo to shop in-stock and inbound inventory, or to order your new vehicle. And as your Chevrolet Business Elite dealer, we offer commercial vehicles, including medium-duty trucks and low-cab forwards. Visit SidDillonChevy.com.
You are what drives us, Sid Dillon.
Chevy, find new roads.
I'm so glad we called SOS. Our AC is the coldest.
I'm always the coldest.
SOS to the rescue.
Hey, this is Dakota Crawford, wide receiver from Louisiana, now playing in Lincoln. When your AC isn't the coldest, you call SOS Heating and Cooling. Their techs don't make commissions, so they give you an honest opinion, fair pricing, and longer warranties than the competition, guaranteed. Take it from the coldest. We will keep you cool this summer.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
Thanks for calling Toyota. This is Jan. How can I help?
Hi, thanks for telling my family and me about Toyota's national sales event.
Oh, you're welcome.
We got a new RAV4 during the event, and it's been great.
Well, that makes me happy. Right now through September 6th, it is the best time to drive off in a new Camry Hybrid, Tacoma, and more. So what are you up to?
You know, we took the RAV4 to a great spot. We've hiked, rafted, and now we're exploring a cave.
Amazing. You're inside a cave right now?
Yep.
Well, I'm glad the RAV4 could make it all happen.
Yeah, my wife talked me into spelunking. I'm actually a complete and absolute amateur. Huh, I could have done without the echo on that.
Toyota's national sales event is on. Visit your participating Toyota dealer today to enjoy every last second of summer. Toyota, let's go places. See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Dealer inventory may vary. Event ends September 6th.
Triple B Feed has the products to help your cows thrive. Whether it's weekly delivery of consumption-controlled Lumix liquid minerals with protein or Redmond natural mineral salt for livestock or humans, Triple B has you covered. Let Brian and Brad Blahorn take some of the stress out of your beef production this year. For more information and other products, visit triplebfeed.com. Triple B Feed, helping you and your cattle.
We're back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres. They are the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you. It's a Labor Day Monday night, but we're here. We're laboring away, doing a talk show with you tonight. 402-413-2400. Here's a new little wrinkle for the show. It's time now for the Special Teams Diagnosis, presented by Nebraska Cancer Specialists, Nebraska's leading community oncology practice. Mixed bag with special teams. Timmy Bleekrode missed a kick from 37, came back and redeemed himself with a make from 46. Brian Buschini, really solid. 2 punts for an average of 42 yards. One of those was into the wind. You had the deflected punt, block punt from Javen Wright. That was a good thing. Nothing big in the return games. I'm kind of waiting for those things to happen for this team. So kind of a mixed bag, but anytime you deflect a kick, block a kick. I was surprised that thing rolled 20 yards down the field after Javen. I thought he got pretty good paw on that football, but kind of a mixed bag for the specialist. Nebraska Cancer Specialist delivers compassionate, personalized, and cutting-edge care in a convenient outpatient setting. They are committed to providing exceptional care and continued support to patients, families, and caregivers. Again, that's our special teams diagnosis for the week. I know you had a chance to talk to Javen after the game, and you said that the sideline was really happy when that moment happened.
Yeah, it was really neat to see his reaction, and that's it. I told you, I said it just seemed like it was just pure joy on his face. And then when I asked him about it after, and he said, that's the word. That's the perfect word. I was just so joyful, and his teammates all celebrating him. It was a really neat moment. Hey, back to Labor Day. That's never been a holiday because it's always during football season. I'm like, people don't work on Labor Day?
Right. Well, it's the last weekend for a lot of people to have their boats in the lake or whatever. A lot of people, they'll pack it up after this.
Pools will close, right?
Pools are closing around town. And we're going to be really hot this week, although Saturday it cools back down again for game night, like a high of 77 or something Saturday. It's going to be gorgeous for that night game against Georgia Southern. But, yeah, kind of the end of the summer. But I'm with you. It's in the heart of football season. We had press conference today, so we were down here covering all that. You had a chance to talk to Kenzie Knuckles. We'll hear that interview tomorrow night on the program. Big week for Husker volleyball. They're going to have a monster match with Creighton in the midweek, and then welcome Tyler Hildebrand and his squad from Long Beach State into town over the weekend. This will be a big week.
Yeah, and when you and I were talking about the schedule and thought that the team went there last year, that's Coach Cook talked to me about that last week when I did his show, that they knew that since that was going to be a potential that, Final Four run that they could play in, getting that experience. So Creighton will come here 2 back-to-back years here. But Kinsey said how much she loved that atmosphere up there. And it sounds like it's going to be rocking again up there. Over 14,000 tickets sold.
Right. Still some available.
Yeah, and I heard Wisconsin is trying to make a push to break the record that Creighton and Nebraska hold, right?
Yep.
And so this hopefully will shut them down.
I think Nebraska and Creighton last year drew 12. I think it was 12, and so now they're going to try. They're over 14 tickets sold with 2 days to go. So if you want to go, you're going to sit in the nosebleeds because that's all that's left for that game, but it should be a great crowd for that matchup. And then they're back at the Devaney Center Saturday afternoon, 3 o'clock, before the football game for Husker volleyball this weekend. Buckle up, put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. We need to sneak a break in. We're back to wrap up Hour 1 next.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks. Foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
Families who travel to Nebraska's only Ronald McDonald House are facing extremely uncomfortable situations. Their child is sick in an unfamiliar city, unsure of how to handle it all. But when they walk in the Ronald McDonald House, they can find comfort in the little things. A quiet moment away from the bombardment of beeps and buzzes in a hospital room. The taste of a home-cooked meal. A calming voice saying it'll be okay. Help us provide the little things that make a big difference. Support a one-night stay for a family in need by visiting rmhcomaha.org/Huskers.
At Nebraska, our people will always be our greatest asset. Day by day, donors give our teams the best opportunity to compete and win through their generous donations. Our vision for the future is ambitious and requires help from those who want to see Husker athletics excel at the highest level. Go big and join thousands of other Huskers Athletic Fund members with your gift today at huskers.com/donate. Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
It's more powerful than the legendary Husker option offense. More powerful than the black shirt defense. It's the sun, and you can harness its power with J-Tech Solar. J-Tech, the official solar energy experts of the Huskers, can help you shrink your energy bills and start saving money now. Solar power is clean, affordable, and it's dependable because the sun always shines on the Huskers. J-Tech Solar for your home, business, or agriculture energy needs. Visit jtechsolar.com.
Backed by popular demand, Hy-Vee drive-through flu shot clinics. Just follow the signs in your Hy-Vee parking lot to get your flu shot right from your car. It's easy, convenient, and no appointment or prescription is necessary. Drive-through flu shots are offered on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 3 to 7 p.m. Or get your flu shot inside your Hy-Vee pharmacy at any time with no appointment necessary. Plus, when you get your flu shot at Hy-Vee, you get a 20-cent Hy-Vee fuel saver. Some restrictions apply.
Husker Athletics offering a Big Ten football mini plan. $200 for a ticket to get you into the 4 home games of Indiana, Illinois, Minnesota, and Wisconsin. If you have an interest in that, go visit huskers.com/tickets. 402-413-2400. The number to dial up with a comment or question. Did you enjoy the first full weekend of college football?
I did. It was fun. And there was good games Thursday night, Friday night.
Yep.
Saturday night. Sunday night?
How about Indiana scoring late and beating Illinois? We all picked Illinois in our picks.
Yes.
And I thought Illinois looked to be the better team.
I did too. I mean, I thought they were cruising and we're going to figure out a way to pull it out, and then gave it away.
Brett Bielema opted on 4th and goal from the 3 to go for it instead of kicking a field goal early in the fourth quarter. Would have put them up 4 points. I mean, there just were some questionable coaching decisions, and I know everybody's still hung up on the onside attempt that Nebraska did in the Northwestern game. But him not doing that, Jeff Brom with Purdue the night before didn't run the football and try to kill some clock. Against Penn State, he ended up losing the game. Crazy stuff.
Yeah,
Crazy stuff.
A lot of calls that, again, coaches are knocking off that rust too. But,
They sure
you know,
are.
I mean, when's the last time we had this many close games in an opening
It's unbelievable.
weekend? And so probably you get a feel for it and you're, oh, crap, we got a close game. I got to put on my close game coaching
Yes.
hat.
We've had 3 Big Ten conference games already. Our game with Northwestern, 3-point spread. You had the Purdue-Penn State game, which was a 4-point spread, and then Indiana wins by 3. Those are your 3 conference games. I think we're in for the whole fall. A lot of conference games going to be just like that.
It's going to
Crazy.
be exciting.
Going to lose my mind, I think, this fall coming up. Andrew wants to know who picks. We don't review that until later in the week because we have a couple of.
That sounds like someone that never wins right there.
We have a couple.
That sounds like someone that never wins a week. Asking for it to be announced.
He was really
act like you've been here before. Oh wait, you haven't.
Yeah, he hasn't. True. He was really happy with this Rutgers pick. Rutgers was losing the whole game and scored late and beat Boston College. Really good win for the Scarlet Knights to go do that on the road. I think we're going to have a handful of those kind of weeks all year long. Man, he is crowing, Buckler, isn't he? What he did over there. We got Georgia Tech, Clemson about ready to kick. So the college football weekend's not over. One more game, and then we're 3 days away from the start of the National Football League with the Buffalo Bills and the Los Angeles Rams set to kick it off on Thursday night.
For some reason, I thought NFL started last weekend. I was so excited, and then I was like, oh.
No Sunday
There's some
games.
good games.
There are.
Opening week of NFL, too.
There sure are. Yep. And that's why college football takes full advantage of Labor Day weekend. That's why they had the game last night with Florida State and LSU. That was a terrific game. And then tonight with the Monday night game, having a Clemson go out there and see if they can reverse their off year from last year. Our Sports Nightly Hotline is brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime. With 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned, you can always find out what you're looking for with Woodhouse. 1 hour, fast hour in the books. When we come back, we'll hear from Anthony Grant, the hero of the Husker game, and Mondays with Matt, also in hour number 2. Come on back.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
You already got the hat, the jersey, maybe even the occasional red and white face paint. So kick things off right this season and add the FNBO Husker Visa debit card to the list. Pay loud and proud for every Husker decal, t-shirt, or hot dog at the game. Wear your heart on your sleeve and in your wallet with the Husker Visa debit card, free with any checking account from FNBO, the bank of Husker Nation. Get yours today at fnbo.com/Huskers. Member FDIC.
It's time to amp up the fun now during the Ford Summer Supercharged Sales Event. Just move on up. Get great offers on select Ford vehicles, and you'll not only bring back the fun, you'll supercharge it. So stop by the Summer Supercharged Sales Event at your Ford dealer and discover how Ford can take your summer to a whole new level. Not all models, trims, or features may be available. Contact your dealer for information. Just move on up.
Hey, Hey, Husker fans, it's time to gear up for the season. So let's do it right. Jerseys, hats, hoodies, and more. Shields has everything you need to show your Nebraska pride. Visit our fan shop online or in-store for the biggest and best brands in the game. You'll find the right gear to level up your team spirit with all the essentials for your pregame parking lot party. Shields, proud partner of Husker Athletics and football fans everywhere.
With the GoCurrency.com sports ticker, I'm Tim Mulhelpt on the Huskers Radio Network. Happy Labor Day, Huskers fans. Scott Frost met with the media this morning and discussed the performance of freshman A.J. Allen this past weekend.
Well, I've said this a bunch. We got a lot of running backs I trust to go in that can make plays, and I hope they all get their shot. AG's done a great job with his plays, and AJ's done a great job with his plays, and I have no doubt that there's some other guys that will too. So that's going to continue to be a competition.
Speaking of the Nebraska running back room, AG, as you heard Coach Frost say there, Anthony Grant was named the co-offensive Big Ten Player of the Week this week after rushing for 189 yards and 2 touchdowns, and put up quite a show for Huskers fans here at Memorial Stadium. Huskers volleyball held firm as the number 2 team in the country in the latest rankings from the AVCA. This after the Huskers swept yet another team this weekend in beating Ole Miss. It's their 5th sweep of the season. They're 5-0 and trail just undefeated Texas in the polls. Elsewhere in college sports, week 1 of college football wraps up tonight. It's just about set for kickoff, or Clemson and Georgia Tech. That one just about set for kickoff, as they're literally showing right now on the TV behind us. Everybody lining up. In pro sports, and the MLB tonight, the Blue Jays and Orioles, that game is still going. Game 2 of their doubleheader is 8-4 Blue Jays in the bottom of the 9th. One last chance for the Orioles there. 1-0 Diamondbacks now lead the Padres in the bottom of the 5th out in San Diego. The White Sox are on top of the Mariners, 3-1. That one's in the bottom of the 5th. The Astros lead the Rangers 1-0 in the bottom of the 3rd. Just about set to get started are the Guardians and Royals in Kansas City. At 8:38, the Tigers will play the Angels. And then the Giants and Dodgers meet in L.A. at 9:10 p.m. Some earlier finals from today's scores. 7-3, the Blue Jays beat the Orioles in Game 1 of their doubleheader. The Rays edged out the White Sox 4-3 as they try to chase the Yankees in the AL East. The Brewers beat the Rockies 6-4, and the Nationals blanked the Cardinals 6-0. The Yankees bested the Twins 5-2. This update is presented by Currency. Currency makes financing quick, easy, and secure for heavy machinery, ag equipment, trucks, trailers, and more. Visit gocurrency.com for details. That's the ticker. I'm Tim Mulhaupt, and Hour 2 of Sports Nightly is next on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who reminds you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Good pass by Kubik, outside set. Whitney Lonstein, kaboom! You can only try to slow her down. You can't stop Whitney. Boy, she's gravity's worst enemy.
Give it off to Grant. He picks his way inside the 45, bounces to the outside, 40, 35, 30, foot race now, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Nebraska.
Now outside Mississippi, blocked. Kaylin Hoare, Whitney Lonstein, that's a combined 13 feet of humanity. We're tied at 19 in Lincoln.
Snap back to Casey. Throws downfield looking for Trey Palmer. He goes up, and did he hang on at the 37-yard line? He did. What a grab by Trey Palmer.
Beautiful pass, back set. Lindsey Krause, kaboom! 19-18, Big Red.
Chancellor Brewington in the game. The block, they fake the handoff. Casey rolls out, flips it out in the flat. Brewington makes a catch. He's going to go down to the goal line. Touchdown! Nebraska going to roll out, flip to Chancellor Brewington, and he scores. It's his 2nd career Husker touchdown.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody, on the Huskers Radio Network.
And we're back, hour number 2 of our Labor Day show. So glad you're spending a little bit of time with us tonight. The chat room is lively as always. Those guys are rain or shine. They're like the mailman. Rain or shine, they're going to be there.
Yes.
Every day.
Yes,
Love it.
They are. Crypto King is always there. We were talking with him the other day. I think he's missed one show.
In a year plus.
In a year plus.
Man, and you got those OGs in there that are there pretty much every night.
Yeah.
God bless them. That's good.
Pretty
for them.
impressive.
Our Sports Nightly hotline is open and available for you. It's brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com. Anytime, with 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned, you can always find what you are looking for with Woodhouse. The game Saturday, Jessica, took 3 hours and 25 minutes. I think we had 5, maybe 6 replay reviews. There are a lot of reviews in the game, and a couple of targeting ones that got pulled back. Did you think one of those? I thought Casey got popped pretty good on the chin. I don't know. They were close.
Yeah, I thought that, and I thought that should have been.
Chancellor got one.
Yeah, and the crowd, boy, they thought it should have been too. I will say this: I do feel like the reviews that we've had in both games really have gone a lot faster than some of the other ones in some of the other games that we've seen reviews.
It took forever at the end of that Florida State game last night to get that 1 second put back on a clock. That was a Big 12 crew.
Yes.
They worked that game last night.
Yes, and you'll recall that on my picks, I really wanted to pick Florida State, but my dad talked me into going with LSU, and then he called me last night and said, if I would have known that the Big 12 refs would have been on that game, I would not have given you any advice whatsoever, because you never know with the Big 12 refs. My dad is absolutely adamantly against the Big 12 refs. But I'm with you. You said this is Davison. Should there be a clock on reviews?
And if you can't figure it out, go with the call on the field.
Yes.
Stay with whatever they called on a field.
There are times, boy, it just slows things down. It takes things out of rhythm. It stops momentum. And, I mean, I know you're trying to get it right, but does it really take that long to get it right? Like,
obviously, there's a lot of indecision if they can't make the decision after looking at video evidence. So just stay with what the guys on the field called. I don't know what the right time is. Is it 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes? I don't know. But boy, it just seems like. And if you're a fan in the stands, you kind of go, "Come on, let's get going. Let's move this thing." Crazy stuff. All right. Well, one thing that was pretty evident was how good a day Anthony Grant had, and the league office recognized that because they've named him the co-offensive player of the week. You had a chance to catch up with him after the ballgame.
I did. He went to the press conference first, and I had already gotten my 4 player interviews, but we thought, hey, we'll get him so we can run this on Monday. So here is Anthony Grant after the game. Here with Anthony Grant. Well, how fun was that for you to get things going on the ground today?
It was really fun, you know what I'm saying, just having all the runs that I had, you know what I'm saying, scoring them 2 touchdowns, it was really unbelievable for real.
Your first touchdown here in Memorial Stadium. Take me back through that one and how fun that one was and how good that one felt to get into the end zone.
It felt great, you know what I'm saying, following my blockers and, you know what I'm saying, busting it out at the last minute. It was, you know what I'm saying, it was a really great run, and I really enjoyed it.
You know, a lot of people talk, though, that you make plays, like just give you a little bit of space and you can get it done. How have you developed that? What's gone into it to being able to make those big explosive plays happen?
I just really feel like, you know what I'm saying, all the work that I put in, you know what I'm saying, all the training I did, all the work I did this off season, you know what I'm saying, and just, you know what I'm saying, really just listening to my coaches and, you know what I'm saying, trying to do what's best for us and for the team and stuff like that. So.
Do you see something when it happens, or you just feel it as it goes?
You know, I definitely use my vision, you know what I'm saying, as I run, but, you know, it's also a great feeling, you know what I'm saying, when you break free. Yeah.
189 yards for you, but also A.J. Allen got in the mix. You guys over 200 yards rushing. How good was that? Because I know you guys were disappointed in how you ran the ball a week ago, but to have the day on the ground you had today.
I feel like rushing is a very important thing for us to do this year, and you know what I'm saying, just for our offense in general. You know what I'm saying, I really feel like with the as we go along in the season, like we're gonna have to, you know what I'm saying, run the ball and, you know what I'm saying, be able to run the ball against, you know what I'm saying, other defenses and stuff like that. So, you know, it's gonna be a, you know what I'm saying, key thing for us during this year.
I know it hurt last week to lose Travis Bokelek, and he's a big time, not even just catching the ball, but blocking. So how good were the tight ends and the way they stepped up to Chancellor Brewington, Nate Borgature, those guys in stepping up for the offense today?
It was great. I mean, you know what I'm saying, the offensive line and tight ends, you know, they really, you know what I'm saying, was making their blocks and, you know what I'm saying, doing what they could to, you know what I'm saying, help us win. And, I'm saying it played a you know what I'm saying, key role in, you know what I'm saying, some of them runs that I, you know what I'm saying, I busted out. So you know, I couldn't thank them boys, you know what I'm saying, anymore.
How do you guys as an offense build off of what you did today? What happened today?
I feel that we really could have started you know what I'm saying, faster and, you know what I'm saying, better than what we did, but you know what I'm saying, as you know, as games go, you know what I'm saying, we got to stay patient, you know what I'm saying, when we're you know what I'm saying, we, you know what I'm saying, have little mistakes like that and things like that. Like, we got to stay patient. We got to just keep rolling with it.
I got to ask you, you were here in the spring game, but your first game day in Lincoln, inside Memorial Stadium, the tunnel walk, all of it. How was it?
It was great, you know what I'm saying, seeing all the fans, the kids, you know what I'm saying, just everybody out there. It was really unbelievable.
How fired up were you when you came out of that tunnel and you run out? I mean, the tunnel walk is one of the best traditions in college football. So how fired up were you when you got out of that tunnel?
Yeah, I was too fired up, you know what I'm saying, coming out the tunnel and just, you know what I'm saying, the fireworks and everything. It was unbelievable.
Appreciate your time. Great game today.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
he seems to be really well liked in the locker room too.
They say he always has a smile on his face.
And when we saw him at the airport, he's got like 85 bags of candy, and they're all giving him a hard time about that. And he just seems to be really lighthearted and then just enjoying his time being a Husker. I think he's just really, really happy to be here.
He can play.
Yes.
He can play. And I still think he and or Trey, they're going to bust some big ones in the kick return game too at some point. North Dakota was kicking to the off returner, which was Zach Weinmaster, and so they tried to flip him the last time, and that's when we had a little trouble and bobbled the ball a little bit. So the other teams know those guys have ability to break a big one.
It's crazy that people already know that, and we haven't even seen it yet.
Right. We haven't seen them get going.
But just the reputation of what they both have had in their past before they even got here. But hopefully one of these times somebody will dare to kick it to them or make a mistake, and they'll make them pay for it.
That was fun. I thought the atmosphere was really good Saturday. I know the first half was sleepy just because the Huskers couldn't get the ball and score, but I thought, in the second half, the fans hung in there, watched the team put together a couple really good drives.
Yeah, there were times they got really, really loud. The turnover, the first touchdown, block punt. I mean, there were some times that it was really loud. So, yeah, I always love game days in Lincoln. There is just nothing like it. It is awesome. I heard Ryan Day talking about he's selling up Ohio State at night. And
nobody could do it like that.
You need to come to Lincoln at night, buddy.
I know every coach is going to say that about their home crowd, and they do. They have a great atmosphere.
But I've been to Ohio State at night, and it does not compare to this. I went with Oklahoma when Oklahoma beat them in 2017, and you were talking about quiet, and now maybe that is because Oklahoma was winning, but the night atmosphere here blew that away. Blew away Ohio State.
It's pretty good. I love A&M. I think LSU is pretty special at night. There's a lot of places in college football.
Tennessee was crazy,
but
they also pumped music into their speakers.
One place, Jessica, that was not very good this Saturday was the Rose Bowl.
Oh, that was really, really bad.
Did you see pictures of that?
That was sad. And I said that they have had bad attendance. And again, I'm going back to when I was with Oklahoma, we went to that, there was way more OU fans in the Rose Bowl for Oklahoma UCLA than there were UCLA. And so I think that's going to be the case for teams like Nebraska, who have a lot of fans that travel and have a lot of fans that are in California. It will not be a road game.
Right.
It might somewhat be even a home game for some of these teams in the Big Ten that are going to UCLA. So it's not like you worry about travel. Well, it's not going to be like it's going to be this awful atmosphere that's going to be hard to play in. It's going to be pretty friendly because you'll have a lot of fans of your own in that stadium every time.
Folks, if you have access to some social media, just go search UCLA home opener and look at some pictures of the Rose Bowl. There might have been 10,000 people in that place, and it seats 100. So it was great. It was just embarrassingly bad for that. A lot of SEC fans were making fun of the Big Ten, going, "Oh, so this is your team? This is your big additions to your league? Is this kind of attendance in UCLA?" And UCLA brings a lot to the table in other ways. I mean, they obviously have a great basketball tradition, and some of the Olympic sports are really, really good at. And I think when they have a huge game, they were playing, I don't even know who they played, a MAC school, Bowling Green maybe or something they played.
Did you see USC's attendance?
I did not see theirs.
Because that was also, that was a knock too, was USC's attendance hasn't been good. But now that there's more energy around the program, it'd be interesting to see what that attendance was. But yeah, you'd think if UCLA could start getting a little bit better and have these teams, these intriguing teams come in, maybe it will be a little bit better. But USC's attendance hadn't been good in the past couple of years either.
USC traditionally will do better drawing crowds out there than UCLA does for football.
Yeah.
We'll see if that holds. But, yeah, I'll look that up. I'll see what the Trojans drew for their opening game. Before we head to the break, let's go to Omaha. Jonathan, you're up next here on Sports Nightly.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Good, thanks.
Hey, so I just happened to be listening. I haven't caught the whole segment, but yeah, I know a lot of people were talking about the first half just being really bad on both sides of the ball, and I agree it was, but I will say it's not how you start, it's how you finish. Yeah, it was North Dakota, but, hey, a win is a win, and hopefully they can win by at least 3 possessions against Georgia Southern, because they're going to need all the momentum they can get before they go against Oklahoma.
No doubt. I think that's what these two games are, is to build a little bit of confidence, build a little bit of momentum, and try to get better on both sides of the ball. And then it's the real business with Oklahoma and the rest of the conference ahead. So I think this team knows that they've got a pretty high ceiling. They're not there yet, but hopefully they can build off that second half.
All right. Thank you. Have a good night.
Thanks, Jonathan.
I'm with him too, because I know that they were all frustrated going into half. Both offense, defense were frustrated they didn't get the stop there at the end of the second quarter. Offense was frustrated that they didn't make more happen. And so I think it really shows a lot that they went into the locker room and then came out and played so much better.
Right.
That they didn't they didn't get hung up on what happened in the first half, that they did come out and try to make adjustments and got things going a little bit better. Because they could have stayed, caught up in that and not moved on past it. But I think it bodes well for this team that they were able to kind of close the chapter on that first and second quarter and come out and do better in the third and fourth quarter.
Scott Frost mentioned it, and he said, knock on wood, the start of both halves in both games has been really good. In the Northwestern game, they got the score, or they got a stop, score, turnover, score, and then Saturday they were able to score in that opening possession of the third quarter, and then got the turnover, and Bleak Road made the kick. They were up 10, so that's impressive. If you can come out and make adjustments and get on somebody to start a half, I think that's a good sign.
Absolutely. And they, were pretty fired up on the sideline when they were kind of had a low energy at times in that second quarter. And so coming back out and getting things going, I think, hey, you go in, you make adjustments. That's what halftime is for.
Right.
And that was one of the things that Jeremiah pointed out on our podcast this week is, okay, what are the areas that need to be improved upon? Halftime adjustments were one of those, and I think the halftime adjustments were better this week. Now, would you like to have the interception back and a couple of the other things? But I think for the most part, they did come out and made adjustments and looked better in the second half than they did in the first half, which is what you want.
USC had 60,000 at
Okay,
their
so
game.
I think that was better than what they averaged last year.
Yeah. So they were up, and I'm sure they're excited about with Lincoln Riley, new coaching staff in town. They've got the Saturday night primetime game this week. They're playing at Stanford, so they're going to get a lot of exposure this week. Buckle up, put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. We're back with our Mondays with Matt coming up next.
A DUI is everything you didn't prepare for. You did not save for it. You did not train for it. You did not go to school for it. You did not raise your family or buy a house or get a job for it. It is not your life goal or a dream come true. You have planned for everything in your life. You did not plan for a DUI. Get a ride. A DUI costs more than you think.
Brought to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
The name of our new promotion says it all. Powerball First Millionaire of the Year. Through September 12th, buy a Powerball with Power Play ticket at any Nebraska lottery retailer and enter the voucher number to win a trip to New York City for New Year's Eve on December 31st, 2022. Plus, you'll also get a chance to win $1 million and become the Powerball First Millionaire of 2023. Remember, this promotion ends on September 12th, so plan ahead and play today. Powerball top prize odds 1 in 292 million.
More Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic care first. Studies show that chiropractic is safe, drug-free, and the most effective treatment option for back, neck, and joint pain. It can also help patients of all ages reduce migraines, improve mobility, and maximize athletic performance. Keep the entire family healthy and active with natural, cost-effective chiropractic care. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
There is no place like Nebraska, and there is no place that treats you like your home like Sapp Brothers. For over 50 years, Sapp Brothers has fueled America's heartland and has been a reliable partner to local farms, businesses, and Huskers fans across Nebraska, providing the highest quality fuel, lubricants, and propane, servicing your farming equipment, and welcoming guests into our travel centers. Visit www.sappbros.net. Sapp Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Huskers Athletics.
Subaru loves building vehicles for those who pack a lot into life. The 2023 Crosstrek is their way of saying more power to you. With 182 horsepower, you have a world of fun and adventure waiting for you. And the Crosstrek comes with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive. Love is out there. Find it in a Crosstrek. 182 horsepower engine available on select models. DeToe Subaru, located at 2750 Jamie Lane in Lincoln, and online at DeToeSubaru.com.
Get ready again for some Nebraska farm facts. When there's work to be done, Nebraska soybeans are on the job in many of your everyday products. In fact, Nebraska soybeans are hard at work in Goodyear tires, Ford cars and trucks, Skechers shoes, asphalt, fuels, lubricants, name brand paints and stains, and more. Soybeans are an innovative replacement for petroleum, leading to more sustainable products all over the world. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Nebraska Innovation Campus creates partnerships between business and the University of Nebraska. Partners lease office space, laboratories, pilot plants, and greenhouses, all centrally located with easy access to University of Nebraska talent and resources. Nebraska Innovation Campus, creating spaces and culture that inspire. Learn more at innovate.unl.edu.
Thanks for calling Toyota. This is Jan. How can I help?
Hi, thanks for telling my family and me about Toyota's national sales event.
Oh, you're welcome.
We got a new RAV4 during the event, and it's been great.
Well, that makes me happy. Right now through September 6th, it is the best time to drive off in a new Camry Hybrid, Tacoma, and more. So what are you up to?
You know, we took the RAV4 to a great spot. We've hiked, rafted, and now we're exploring a cave.
Amazing. You're inside a cave right now?
Yep.
Well, I'm glad the RAV4 could make it all happen.
Yeah, my wife talked me into spelunking. I'm actually a complete and absolute amateur. Huh, I could have done without the echo on that.
Toyota's national sales event is on. Visit your participating Toyota dealer today to enjoy every last second of summer. Toyota, let's go places. See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Dealer inventory may vary. Event ends September 6th.
Let Shelter Insurance get you in the game this football season. The Nebraska Huskers are gearing up for another big year, and this is your chance to win tickets from Shelter Insurance and the Husker Radio Network. Contact a Nebraska Shelter agent, and they'll register you for a chance to win tickets to one of 4 home football games this season. Only Shelter agents can register you, so call, email, or drop by for your chance to win. Find an agent near you at shelterinsurance.com/Huskers and ask them to register you to win.
Families who travel to Nebraska's only Ronald McDonald House are facing extremely uncomfortable situations. Their child is sick in an unfamiliar city, unsure of how to handle it all. But when they walk in the Ronald McDonald House, they can find comfort in the little things. A quiet moment away from the bombardment of beeps and buzzes in a hospital room. The taste of a home-cooked meal. A calming voice saying it'll be okay. Help us provide the little things that make a big difference. Support a one-night stay for a family in need by visiting rmhcomaha.org/Huskers.
More Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic care first. Studies show that chiropractic is safe, drug-free, and the most effective treatment option for back, neck, and joint pain. It can also help patients of all ages reduce migraines, improve mobility, and maximize athletic performance. Keep the entire family healthy and active with natural, cost-effective chiropractic care. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Insider Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, which is sponsored by Acres. They are the Midwest premier John Deere dealer supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. Time for our Mondays with Matt. Chance to talk to the color analyst here on the Huskers Radio Network. Coming off a win. Feels much better, doesn't it?
Yeah, it'd been too long, right? But yeah, it's been a fun couple of days, you know, enjoying a win and seeing the guys have some success is always good. And went back and watched the film and did a lot of good things. Coach Frost kind of talked about it today, but there were a lot of positives to take out of the game and yet a lot of things that need fixed. So it's always fun to fix those things after a win rather than a loss. Wish we were 2-0. It hasn't happened. 1-1, and got to try to go 1-0 this week as well.
I know folks were antsy at halftime, but credit North Dakota. They kept the ball away. It was like a keep-away game. They had some long drives, didn't score a lot of points, but they kept the ball in Nebraska's offense off the field.
Yep. turn it over once in the first half, limited possessions in the first half.
Missed field goal.
Yeah, missed field goal. They had over 6 minutes of drive time in the first drive of the game and then almost 7 minutes in the last drive of the half. So they kept it away, and part of that was they did some good things. Part of it was Nebraska had some bad tackling. Missed a tackle on third down on the first drive of the game that would have been a punt. And so there were some leaky yards there defensively in the first half, which allowed them to keep drives going. In the end, the defense, if you look at the numbers, wasn't bad at all. Under 300 yards of total offense, really gave up 10 points. The interception gave them the really short field, so ended up 17. But overall, a pretty good performance by the defense, but definitely things can be buttoned up a little bit.
Encouraged by the improvement in the run game for Nebraska?
For sure. Anthony made a couple incredible runs, and running backs will do that sometimes. If you have a really good one, they'll make a play for you. I think the offensive line was better than they were the first week, and that's what you expect. It was the first time they'd really played together against Northwestern, and this was the second time they'd gone out there together. I think they were better. Did give up a couple of sacks. Can't let Casey get blindsided like that. It ended up in a turnover. And so, those are things you got to clean up. The competition's going to get better, and so you have to shore those things up a little bit. And I think we're going to do that this week, getting ready for the game on Saturday night.
I think you and I were both a little surprised as the game went on. Nebraska didn't push it down the field more. They did on a huge third down, backed up in their own end. Trey Palmer made a terrific play on the ball. That, to me, I thought was the biggest play of the game.
Yeah, me too. And I talked to Trey about it this morning, actually. And it was into the wind. The ball was really kind of fluttering and falling apart. It's a tough play as a wide receiver. He had a guy right there, had to go up in the air and pick it out of the sky when it's not a tight spiral. It's not an easy catch. And he made a really great play. He's a really good player. And, yeah, it was probably the play of the game. I thought there was going to be a 15-yard penalty before that on the targeting, and they took that off the board. I still thought it was a late hit, but they didn't count that. So then, you're in a tough spot, and Trey made a huge play there. The offense in the second half really started to click, and I think, hopefully that is a confidence builder for these guys going into this weekend. They pushed the ball down the field a little more, scored a bunch of points in the second half. Anthony had a good game. A.J. Allen came in and ran the ball really well. The offensive line wore them down a little bit in the second half, I think. And so overall ended up in the second half with a pretty good performance, even though it was 17 apiece and we were all nervous. But a couple late scores, and it ended up being a nice win.
Tight end position, no Vokalak. We talked about it in the coin toss. Two of the captains were not in uniform. You don't like to have that, so no Travis Vokalak. How about the guys that stood up and took over those snaps?
Yeah, Nate Borkacher and Chancellor Burrington did most of the work at tight end, but A.J. Rollins got in there and played some meaningful snaps too. And so all three of those guys got great experience. Nate's going to play a lot all season. Chance is going to play a lot all season. We want Travis back as soon as possible, right? He's a really good player. He's a team captain. He's a leader on this team. You need him on the field. But those guys came in and really played well. Nate got a touchdown. Chancellor got a touchdown. I mean, those are big plays, obviously, and big confidence boosters for those guys. And they're just going to continue to get better throughout the season.
Coach was really not wanting to just anoint Anthony Grant, the next Husker running back. Did get named today as a co-offensive player of the week in the league.
Yeah.
He's had a couple good special plays already this season.
He does some things that are hard to teach. The stop-start, the jump cuts, the vision, the patience to let blocks develop and then make something out of it. He's done a great job of that. We saw it against Northwestern on the long run, and even without him being big explosive plays, there are times he gets 2 or 3 or 4 when it looks like 0, or he gets 6 when it looked like 2. So he's done a lot of good things the first 2 weeks. He's a great kid. He works really hard. He's strong. Has, again, some things about him that are just hard to really coach. You kind of have it or you don't, and he has a couple things that are pretty special.
It's our Mondays with Matt segment. Matt Davison here on the Huskers Radio Network on Sports Nightly. How nice is it to come in on a Monday and kind of feel like it is a Monday and have a normal week after the long travel a week ago?
Yeah, it's nice, and I think the guys are going to have even better week of preparation this week than they had last week. I mean, coming off a loss, you're disappointed. You have all this travel. Coach Frost talked about it. There was a little sickness going through. Hopefully that's gone. And, sleep in your own bed all week and don't have the time adjustments and those sorts of things. Hopefully it's a much better week of prep. I didn't think last week was bad, but there's definitely some influence of those other factors. This week, no excuse. They showed up today, came and had a good Monday. Tuesday and Wednesday are big work days. They have to have 2 more good days, and then get into Thursday and Friday before the Saturday night game. So it's nice. Coming off a win is always nice, and hopefully they can build on the second half of last week and really come into this week with confidence and play 4 quarters of really good football.
Know much about Georgia Southern at this point, or is it still too early in the week?
A little bit. I mean, they're running a new offense with a new head coach, Clay Helton, and they threw it a bunch last week. They scored a bunch of points in the second half last week, and so they're going to challenge us in different ways than we've seen maybe at times, and so it's always going to be a challenge. Everybody has good players now, really. It doesn't matter who's on your schedule. You have to take care of the football. You have to be physical. You have to be really good in special teams, and you do those things, you should be in good shape, right? But you're loose with the ball, and you don't execute, and you turn it over a couple times, and all of a sudden, you're in a dogfight. And so the guys, I think, know that they have to prepare this week for a good opponent and take care of business under the lights. It'll be fun to play a night game here at Memorial Stadium.
I know we all love this sport. How about the start of this season? Just crazy finishes, crazy things that have happened already a 1.5 week into this deal.
Yeah, the LSU Florida State game was nuts. North Carolina and App State was crazy. North Carolina State and ECU. I mean, there's been some great games. I'm probably missing a bunch, but I don't get to watch that many games, but I thought it was a fun weekend of football. It's just good to have it back, and hopefully we can get more momentum this weekend, Greg, before getting into the last 9 games of the season.
All right, night games are fun, right? Everybody loves these. Players love these. Probably good to get some prospective student athletes even into campus.
Yeah, it's always good for recruiting. Guys can come to town. If you play the 11 a.m. slot, it's sometimes a lot tougher to get them here. So night games gives you a really good ability to recruit and get a lot of kids on campus, and so that'll be fun, and the crowd will be ready. We know that, and we don't leave town again until October, so it'll be nice to have this stretch of home games here and hopefully protect home turf and get momentum in the program.
It's just fine with me. All right, have a good week. We'll see you in the booth.
Thanks, Greg.
Matt Davison with us here on our Mondays with Matt. Buckle up, put the phone down. It's a reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. 402-413-2400. More of your calls and texts coming up next.
The Ford truck lineup is purpose-built from the ground up, designed to be tough and productive. Crafted with high-strength, military-grade aluminum alloy body and torture-tested high-strength steel frame with new tech to help you work smart and hard. The F-150, Ranger, and Maverick are built tough and ready to tackle whatever lies ahead. Hit the road in confidence and learn more about Ford trucks in-store or online anytime at WoodhouseFord.com, your trusted truck dealer since 1975. Woodhouse Ford.
This is University of Nebraska-Lincoln student Colton Husa with Campus News. 26 Husker students participated in the Rural Fellows Learning Program. It's a 10-week summer internship across 16 Nebraska communities. Students work with local leaders to plan and execute community improvement projects. Past projects include water system improvements in Wahoo, early childhood education access in Ord, and farmers market and music festival management in Imperial.
Back to throw is Schuster, looking down the middle field, hit, and ball pops out, it's loose, and a pile up, and the Huskers, I think, have it. Stephon Wynn, I think, has it.
Hey, Huskers fans, tomorrow, join us for Sports Nightly from 6 to 8 p.m. In Hour 1, we'll break down the latest Nebraska football practice report. Then in Hour 2, we'll talk to Huskers volleyball defensive specialist Kenzie Knuckles before we catch up with the Team Jack Foundation. Tune into your local affiliate or at Huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red.
Here's to the locals, raised right here in the Western Corn Belt. The strong ones. We help them grow stronger, making world-class genetics research and technology local. The cutting-edge yet common-sense agronomy, the shake-em-up yields. Because we're born and raised here too, and we'll keep raising the bar to ensure you only get the best at Hogemeyer. Raised local, raised right here. Learn more at therightseed.com.
Every single day, Central Valley Ag works with our farmers to feed the globe. From white corn, non-GMO, food grade, and organics, the world's appetite for food-grade grain is growing every day. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Find the rep who can help you plan next year's value-added grain program at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
It's time to amp up the fun now during the Ford Summer Supercharged Sales Event.
Just move on up.
Get great offers on select Ford vehicles, and you'll not only bring back the fun, you'll supercharge it. So stop by the Summer Supercharged Sales Event at your Ford dealer and discover how Ford can take your summer to a whole new level. Not all models, trims, or features may be available. Contact your dealer for information.
Just move on up.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Thanks for calling Toyota. This is Jan. How can I help?
Hi, thanks for telling my family and me about Toyota's national sales event.
Oh, you're welcome.
We got a new RAV4 during the event, and it's been great.
Well, that makes me happy. Right now through September 6th, it is the best time to drive off in a new Camry Hybrid, Tacoma, and more. So what are you up to?
You know, we took the RAV4 to a great spot. We've hiked, rafted, and now we're exploring a cave.
Amazing. You're inside a cave right now?
Yep.
Well, I'm glad the RAV4 could make it all happen.
Yeah, my wife talked me into spelunking. I'm actually a complete and absolute amateur. Huh, I could have done without the echo on that.
Toyota's national sales event is on. Visit your participating Toyota dealer today to enjoy every last second of summer. Toyota, let's go places. See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Dealer inventory may vary. Event ends September 6th.
I'm so glad we called SOS. Our AC is the coldest.
I'm always the coldest.
SOS to the rescue.
Hey, this is Dakota Scrawford, wide receiver from Louisiana, now playing in Lincoln. When your AC isn't the coldest, you call SOS Heating and Cooling. Their techs don't make commissions, so they give you an honest opinion, fair pricing, and longer warranties than the competition, guaranteed. Take it from the coldest. We will keep you cool this summer.
Beardmore Subaru celebrates Nebraska volleyball again this season. 5 national championships, 47 All-Americans, and a home sellout streak dating back to 2001. The longest streak for any women's sport in NCAA history. Beardmore Subaru has been a proud supporter of Husker volleyball for more than 10 years. Beardmore Subaru in Bellevue has the new Subaru Outback Wilderness, loaded with off-road ready upgrades, and the new Solterra, Subaru's first ever all-electric and all-wheel drive vehicle. Go Big Red.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
For 46 years, our focus has been our customers at Sid Dillon Buick GMC Cadillac in Fremont. Come see for yourself how easy buying your new car, truck, or SUV at Sid Dillon can be. Stop by our dealership in Fremont to order your new vehicle and shop in-stock and inbound inventory. And if you need a commercial vehicle, we're your GMC Business Elite dealer. Shop at SidDillonBuickGMC.com.
You are what drives us, Sid Dillon.
GMC, we are professional grade.
Hey, folks, if the Huskers return the first or second half kickoff this weekend for a touchdown, you could win a $54,000 credit on a new vehicle from Woodhouse Auto Family Dealership. If you want to get yourself entered to be a possible contestant, go to Huskers.com/Woodhouse for official rules and how to get yourself entered. I think it's coming, folks. I'm sensing a kickoff return for a touchdown. Let's check out what's on tap, presented by Bud Light. Husker volleyball in action Wednesday night up in Omaha against the Creighton Blue Jays. That'll be a battle of ranked teams. Early start. First serve at 5 o'clock, 4:30 pregame coverage here on HRN. Husker soccer will entertain North Carolina State at Hibner Thursday night at 7:05. And Husker football, 6:30 kickoff against Georgia Southern. Our Husker Game Day show begins at 2:30. That's what's on tap, presented by Bud Light. Speaking of Husker soccer, Jessica, we brought in our resident expert, Andrew Daddy, to talk about Husker soccer. Tough match yesterday. You kind of thought that'd be hard playing the Billikens, right?
St. Louis men's and women's team are nationally some of the best in D1.
Yeah.
Considerably, arguably. And I think that the ladies, do not count them out yet. They are a young, very, very young squad. They lost 12 seniors last year, all almost started, and that's something that it takes time. And coming from me, I'm a 4-year college soccer player. When I was a freshman, we had 15 seniors. We went to the Sweet 16. It was a great experience, but then we said, who's going to step up? We had a very, very low, underdeveloped freshmen and sophomores. I had to come in, step in sophomore year and play, and that's just something that they're going to adjust, and they're going to get something each and every day in practice. They're going to get better and better from the back line to the midfield to forwards, because it all starts from the back going up as a team.
They're 2-3-1. That was their first road match, was St. Louis. They bust over to St. Louis. They're back home this week. North Carolina State Thursday. USC, who's a ranked team, on Sunday. So you got to grow. They just have had a hard time generating much offense. They possess the ball a lot, seems like, Andrew, but they just can't find the back of the net.
A lot of good possession in the back. One thing that I've seen also, love, because I'm a defender. I played freshman year, sophomore year, I was midfield, and then my junior, senior year, I converted and I played defense because I was getting a little bigger, so I was hitting people off. But that's the one thing I saw, and I think that they, like I said, everything starts in the back, and they've been going, and slowly and surely it's been getting a lot of passes in the midfield up to the forward. But something that needs to be talked about is these ladies are getting shots in. They outshot St. Louis by 10 shots.
Yeah, but how do you get it in the net?
Each game, it's just all about coming together, and I think they're going to learn from that. And it's just, it takes time. And, like, you just can't come in there, oh, I'm just going to kick it, I'm going to boot it. Their forward, Sarah Weber, who also was the only player who scored in the St. Louis game, she is a stud right now. She's pretty much our best offensive forward. We have a lot of midfielders coming together with that 7-11 outside midfield spot. That's going great. But something that I'm seeing, again, I'm super critical on the defense because I was a defender for most of my career. In the back line with the Anglem sisters in the center back, and Jordan Zaid is someone who I'm super high on right now. Jordan Zaid, also a DeSoto, Kansas.
Oh, well,
and
there it was.
I went to DeSoto High School resident, and that's something that she's an outside back, and she has a throw where she does a flip into it, and she can throw it farther than me. She can throw it out farther than me. And that's something that I'm just super, I think these ladies are gonna get this, and when they do, it's gonna start clicking.
It's a big week. You have 2 home matches, again, Thursday night at 7, and then you're going to go see them on Sunday because you don't work on Sunday. They play USC, who's a ranked team, at 1 o'clock at Hibner Stadium. So big week.
I'm super ready. I need to go out to Hibner and support the ladies. Sammy Hawk, who's an intern for us, works super hard for us.
Yep.
She is one of the only players who plays all 90 minutes each game. She has went and played each 90-minute game. I thought there was a few other gals who were getting 90, but every other thing's pretty much about 60, 70 is the most.
Enough.
Yeah, Sarah Weber would be the most, I think, with how many minutes they would have.
By the way, Crypto says what's up, and he likes your shirt. He has the exact same one.
Crypto, I appreciate it. Thank you.
So Andrew Price says you got great style.
I like purple. Not the Wildcat purple is for Greg, but I'm a big fan of purple.
Yeah, there you go. Andrew also is a recent user now of a scooter. He's got a little scooter to get around town.
Yeah, I just tried it.
Out earlier.
That thing can move.
How'd you think of it? You liked it?
Yeah. Yes, I would fall. I would definitely bite it if I were driving that thing around.
I'm worried because I think Andrew needs a helmet. I think we need to get him a helmet.
We need to start a fund here on the text line.
Go GoFundMe for Andrew to have a helmet to wear on his little scooter to ride around town.
Husker Nation, you heard it first. Need to GoFundMe for my helmet.
That thing gets going pretty fast.
It goes so fast. It does. It can get up to 25 miles per hour. And the other day, I was going and I was feeling good. We just got done with our broadcast, and I was just driving around the Haymarket. I had one hand on the wheel. I was going and looking, and I almost fell off of it. So that's why they want me to have this helmet.
Can you take us through your decision to go make the move to a scooter?
So my decision to go from the scooter, I live in the Haymarket right now, and it's always such a hassle when it's that Thursday, Friday, Saturday vibe. It's packed. And my parking garage that's right next to Barry's right there, a lot of people don't know how to get in and out of it, so it could be packed at times. Sometimes I'll be late coming.
Stuck.
Yeah, I'll be just getting stuck. And
so this thing, zoom.
in and out, and I love it. It's been one of the best
And no
purchases.
parking.
No, I didn't have to pay for parking. One of the best purchases I probably could have had.
Very good. Well, thanks for the breakdown. We wish for better times for Husker soccer. 2-3-1, 2 big matches this week at home. Get out, folks, and support that team.
We got it.
Good stuff.
Go Big Red.
And
We've already got a nickel pledge for you.
We'll get that GoFundMe thing ready for Andrew's
Got a nickel pledge.
We got to keep him safe. I mean, we can't have him out. He rolls that thing somewhere down there. Very, very good. Hey, Nebraska 811 says, go dig red. Before you dig, always call or click 811 to have your utility lines marked. It's free, it's easy, it's the law. We're back with our weekend winners next. Touchdown, Nebraska!
If you're doing business in Nebraska, the best way to connect your organization with the excitement surrounding the Huskers is through a partnership with Nebraska Athletics. You can take your business to the next level by reaching loyal Husker fans through in-venue signage, digital and social media, radio advertising, and more.
Got it!
Join the Husker team today and email partners@huskers.com to learn more about opportunities to connect with Husker Nation. That's partners@huskers.com.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
Whether you compete on the court, at the track, on the field, or in the fields, winning isn't just a goal. It's a mindset, shaped, honed, and defined throughout the season. That's why farmers pushing themselves to be the best plant DeKalb brand corn. Wherever you compete, winning has roots. Perform at your best with DeKalb. Always read and follow grain marketing and all other stewardship practices and pesticide label directions.
While some seed companies put a greater stake in stock prices and anonymous shareholders, Rob Seco knows that what's important to you hits closer to home. That's why you'll find we're focused on your needs. With a simplicity that makes us easy to do business with, a relationship that makes it easy to connect with anyone in the company, and the technology, traits, and genetics you need from any source. Put your stock in the company that puts you first. Rob Seco.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
It's time to amp up the fun. Now during the Ford Summer Supercharged Sales Event.
Just move on up.
Get great offers on select Ford vehicles, and you'll not only bring back the fun, you'll supercharge it. So stop by the Summer Supercharged Sales Event at your Ford dealer and discover how Ford can take your summer to a whole new level. Not all models, trims, or features may be available. Contact your dealer for information.
Just move on up.
Backed by popular demand, Hy-Vee drive-through flu shot clinics. Just follow the signs in your Hy-Vee parking lot to get your flu shot right from your car. It's easy, convenient, and no appointment or prescription is necessary. Drive-through flu shots are offered on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 3 to 7 p.m. Or get your flu shot inside your Hy-Vee pharmacy at any time with no appointment necessary. Plus, when you get your flu shot at Hy-Vee, you get a 20-cent Hy-Vee fuel saver. Some restrictions apply.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody back with you. No score. Georgia Tech Clemson. They're in the second quarter of that game, so the Ramblin' Wreck fighting hard in there. On our text line, Art in Los Angeles, I will donate $20 to the Andrew Helmet Fund. Where do I send the money?
We got to get that set up, I guess. Also, Jim on the chat said maybe we could get him an NIL deal. That'd be good.
Put a sticker on there or something for a company while he's zipping around Lincoln.
Yeah. Should look into that.
You're worried about his hair, though, not surviving those helmets.
You know, we got to figure out something so it doesn't mash his hair, and because you know he's worried about his hair, and he's constantly
he's a pretty boy.
You know, trying to make sure that it looks on point. So
pretty boy doesn't want to mess that hair up. That's a deal. deal. All right, time for weekend winners. Tim, lead us off with a winner.
I'm going to cheat a little bit because it's a long weekend and I picked someone from today. But Bo Bichette, the shortstop for the Toronto Blue Jays, hit 3 home runs today.
Wow.
So 3 home runs. He's had a down year, young star for Toronto. Kind of had a down year relative to expectations, and 3 home runs today. So
Judge hit his 54th.
He did. Judge, I already named him a winner earlier this summer, but he deserves a lot of credit too.
Cool.
But, yeah.
What's on your mind here?
Texas Parking Services for towing their quarterback's car in the middle of the game.
How about that? He goes out, has a pretty good opening game as a starting quarterback, comes out and his car's gone.
Yes.
That's funny.
That's more of a loser, but my winner is actually Javen Wright. And getting to make the big play and how joyful he was. That was
such a cool deal.
Yep.
Yeah. I've got 2 winners. Is that okay? Can I do it? Because Andrew didn't give me one, so I'll give one for him. One is for the Des Moines Register, for their creativity of their sports department. Their headline in the Sunday morning paper was Iowa victory, but there was no O in Iowa and no O in victory because the Iowa offense had no offense.
There was no O on Saturday.
That's really creative.
Yes.
That's a really good line.
Did you find out who was the one that came up with that?
Well, it was just somebody in their newsroom probably came up with the headline.
I'd like to know who it was.
Yeah, I would too. That was really cool to do that. My other one, that tragic shooting they had in Uvalde, Texas last May. Well, they had their first high school football game on Friday night. They had a 51-yard run with 36 seconds to go in their opening game of the year, and then a kid made a one-handed catch for a touchdown with 12 seconds left, and they won their home opener. Wow. How cool is that for that little town?
That was, that was amazing.
Good for them. That town, high school football in small towns, we know, can really uplift everybody in the community. That town needed something like that. That is so cool. So wanted to mention Uvalde, Texas high school football team. What a neat deal.
And it was the Texans, right, that donated
They did.
some
gear.
equipment,
some stuff for them. I guess there's like a helmet shortage going on. I haven't heard much about this. I talked to a guy who's a high school coach in Kansas. He goes, we're having a hard time getting gear. They're backlogged, supply chain issues. High schools are having a hard time getting enough helmets and pads and that kind of stuff to suit their kids up right now.
Well, I knew like tennis shoes too with some of the gear here, but that's scary if you don't have enough helmets and shoulder pads.
Yeah. All right, tomorrow night show. Both coordinators will meet with the media tomorrow. Mark Whipple, Eric Shenander will play clips of that for you tomorrow night, and then we'll preview a big week for Husker volleyball. Kenzie Knuckles, you've got a chance to catch up with her today. No John Cook show tomorrow because they're going to be in Omaha getting ready for that big match on Wednesday night. The volleyball show will be on Thursday. We'll have both volleyball and football on Thursday night.
And a special guest host on Thursday night.
Yeah, rev that up a little bit.
Yes, Lauren Cook-West is going to be actually here in studio.
How about that? You guys haven't even met Lauren, have you, in person?
We're excited.
She'll be here.
And she's going to be, I'm told, in the arena on Wednesday night with JB for the first time since before COVID.
They'll have to reintroduce themselves to each other for
Yeah.
that. How about that team? They're 5-0, haven't lost a set. 5 matches so far.
And they've been pushed in some of the sets and have found a way to overcome and pull it out and win. So, yeah. And doing it in all different kinds of ways, too.
Absolutely. So we'll hear from Kenzie Knuckles, one of our favorites, tomorrow night on the program, and get you ready for that Creighton match on Wednesday, which will knock us off the air Wednesday night. But we'll have 2 coaches shows for you Thursday, and then Party Friday.
Party show on
I'm
Friday.
feeling some, I don't know if you guys, I feel pressure that we have to put on a party every Friday night.
Yeah, it's expecting a party show on Friday.
It's hard. Yeah, Andrew's got it.
You're leaving the party.
I will not be here for the full party Friday night. Our hotline brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com. Anytime, 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned. You can find it at Woodhouse. Have a great night. Good night.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Here's to the locals, raised right here in the Western Corn Belt. The strong ones. We help them grow stronger, making world-class genetics research and technology local. The cutting-edge yet common-sense agronomy, the shake-em-up yields. Because we're born and raised here too, and we'll keep raising the bar to ensure you only get the best at Hogemeyer. Raised local, raised right here. Learn more at therightseed.com.
Preparation. It's the key to success on game day. And like your favorite Huskers on the field, you need to be ready right from the opening kickoff. Cenex has your pre-game routine covered. We've got your salty snacks, your sweet treats, ice-cold beverages to wash them down, and fresh tanks of propane to fire up the grill. Fuel your fandom at your local Cenex station. Husker Pride, powered locally.
Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska exists to be there with you. They are rooting for the schools and teachers who make our communities great. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska is proud to sponsor Touchdowns for Teachers and ask Husker fans to nominate outstanding educators who help Nebraska students reach their potential. If there's a teacher you want to recognize for the impact they've made in your community, find a nomination form at huskers.com/touchdowns-for-teachers.
Seasons change, but your land stays the same. You need the right solutions to keep you moving. That's why you rely on Acres Equipment, your premier John Deere dealership and proud partner of Nebraska Athletics. Whether you're harvesting, protecting your crops, feeding the herd, maintaining your lawn, improving your business, or letting off some steam, Acres has what you need.